In this movie, we're going to look at creating the popular silhouette look in After Effects. This look is perhaps most recognizable from the original iPod commercials, but we also see it all over the place when used with vector art and all kinds of things. So this will be an introduction into that trick. I have some great footage here of this cute little girl spazzing out, rocking and rolling. And so what we're going to do is actually apply to her the curves effect. And again, there are many ways to do this, but to me this is the easiest. And then in curves, just grab the right-hand point, and we know that as we drag this down, we're making the brightest point of the image much darker than it initially was. And this bottom left-hand corner is black. So if we drag the upper right-hand corner down all the way to the bottom, then we'll have a flat line at the bottom, which will give us pure black. We'll put our cursor over here, and you can see in the info panel in the upper right-hand corner of the screen, up here, that we are seeing 000 for R, G, and B, which means that we have a pure black image. And now when we preview this, we could see her dancing against a pink background, just like she was in her own little iPod commercial. Now, if we want to take this to the next step, we could select the layer and hit Command D to duplicate it. And then we can actually move this out in time, maybe extend the end a little bit there. So we have multiple dancers, and then we could move one of the dancers over to the side. Maybe we could even scale this one down a little bit so she's kind of like a background dancer. And we could select that layer again, hit Command D to duplicate that, move it over to the other side, as background dancers are wont to do. And then again, move this a little bit more in time, and change that there. I've also added some opacity keyframes so that this fades out at the end. So what we'll want to do is select these two layers, hit T for opacity. So now what I want to do is click and drag a little marquee around these keyframes, and then click and drag on one of them to the right to move it over so that they line up with the layer beneath them here. And I'll want to do that with these as well. Click and drag the marquee, and then once they're selected, move them over. There we go. Now if we hit the home key, we can preview our final product. I spaz. Beautiful. Now, a couple of other things you can do here. We could alternatively, let's see, select this layer. Maybe we'll add the ramp effect. Another thing that's very common is not just to use live action footage and create a silhouette with it, but to use still images. Then oftentimes you'll have a cool gradient over that footage. Maybe we could adjust this ramp so it's a little bit more blended or whatever, but we often see still images, maybe like buildings, graffiti that have like this ramp in it, just like a lot of cool silhouettes used in bumpers all the time. It's a simple trick, but it's pretty iconic, and it's great when you're working, maybe say for a certain brand that needs to have a lot of color identity, and on top of that, it just looks cool.